Call of Duty just announced the new Season 3 roadmap, and man oh man, it is an absolutely huge, massive season which includes the return of Rebirth Island, 6 new 6v6 maps, and plenty more. And to be honest with you guys, this is shaping up to be the best season yet. Let's begin with the release date. Season 3 of Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone will officially launch on April 3rd at 9 AM Pacific time, which means we only have about a week left to wait. That's not very long, and I haven't been this excited for a season in quite some time. With the release date out of the way now, as always, let's start off with the multiplayer side of things. Like I mentioned, there'll be 6 new 6v6 maps, half of which are completely brand new maps seen for the first time in Modern Warfare 3. I mean, when was the last time we actually got more than 3 maps in a season, let alone 3 brand new maps? This is what us, the multiplayer guys, ask for. Just simple things like this. Give us more than just 2-3 maps. Give us 4 or 5 maps, and new maps at that, and this is all we ask for, and they have finally given us that. This is absolutely awesome. For our first brand new map in Season 3 of Modern Warfare 3, we have 6-star, which will be available at launch, and it looks absolutely awesome. The description says this is going to be a 6-star resort, hence the name of course, that will take place at the top of a skyscraper. Man oh man, I don't know about you guys, but this map is going to be absolutely awesome. Yes, it's a bit on the bigger side, but just look at the colors, look at the saturation of it. It is absolutely awesome. I'm super excited for this map. Then we have our second brand new map called Emergency. This map will also be available at launch of Season 3, and it is on the smaller side of things, which is good. As you guys know, I'm a fan of smaller sized maps. Then we move on to our third map of Season 3, and this is going to be the first map that has been reimagined or remastered, if you will, and it is Grow House. It will be available at launch as well. Now for those of you that played Call of Duty Vanguard and stayed there through the post-season content, you guys should remember this map. It was called Sphere. If you guys remember, at the middle of the map there was this weird electricity ball just sitting in the middle of the map. Grow House is the same map as Sphere, but of course visually changed a bit to fit the modern setting of Modern Warfare 3 compared to World War II setting of Vanguard. Then we move on to our fourth map called Tanked, and this will also be available at launch. Now this is what they are calling a repurposed map. All that simply means this is the zoo point of interest from Vandal, simply taken out, made it to fit into a 6v6 map. That's all there is to this map. Then we have our second repurposed map in Season 3, and this one's called Checkpoint. It will be available mid-season. Again, just like the zoo point of interest made into a 6v6 map, Checkpoint is the same, but this time it will be from the Stronghold point of interest in Rebirth Island, taken, made into a 6v6 map, and that's all there is to it. For our sixth and final map, this is going to be another brand new map seen for the first time in Modern Warfare 3. Is going to be called Grime. It's a new small to medium sized map, and will be taking place in a London canal. Again, all of these 6 maps look absolutely amazing, but I'm super excited for the 3 brand new maps. Cannot wait to check them out. Moving on from the maps to the new weapons that will be available in Season 3, there will be 4 new weapons. First of all, we have the FJX Horus submachine gun. It will be available at launch via the Battle Pass sector number 8, and the description reads an ultra compact SMG with best in class CQC damage and mobility. Very excited, cannot wait to try it out. Then we of course have our first return weapon from everybody's favorite game, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Yes, that's right. For our second weapon, we'll be getting the Morse sniper rifle, which will also be available at launch via the Battle Pass sector number 4. Of course, if you guys played Advanced Warfare, you all know about the Morse sniper rifle. I am super excited to try it out. As you guys know, I love the Advanced Warfare. Then we have our third new weapon, the Gladiator melee weapon. It will also be available at launch via the Battle Pass sector number 15. And finally, for our fourth and final weapon in Season 3 is of course none other than the BAL 27 assault rifle. It will be available mid-season. Of course, another Advanced Warfare weapon, an overpowered pay-to-win blueprint of the BAL 27, the Obsidian Steed, if you guys remember that. So yes, 2 Advanced Warfare weapons will be making their way in Season 3 of Modern Warfare 3, the Morse sniper rifle and the BAL 27, and again I'm super excited. I cannot wait. Now just one interesting thing I noticed, when they're talking about the Morse sniper rifle and the BAL 27, they never mentioned they are weapons from Advanced Warfare. I'm not sure why, to be honest with you guys. I mean, it's not like they've changed their names or anything. They still called the BAL 27 and the Morse sniper rifle, but they never anywhere mentioned they are Advanced Warfare weapons. I just find that to be very interesting. And as we're on the topic of weapons, Season 3 will see the addition of 8 new aftermarket parts. We have the Jack Cutthroat, we have the Jack Revenger kit, we have the Jack Jawbreaker kit, we have the Jack Shadow Titan kit, we have the Jack Patriot, which actually turns your M16 from a burst rifle weapon into a fully automatic weapon, which is gonna be crazy. And then we have the Wardens, which turns your Lockwood MK2 marksman rifle into a Akimbo lever action shotgun. What on earth? This is gonna be overpowered, I can already tell. And then we have the Jack Atlas kit, and finally the photonic charge barrel for the new Morris sniper rifle. Moving on from the weapons to the new operators that will be available in season 4. Specifically, there'll be 4 new operators. First of all, headline the new season will be none other than Vladimir Makarov. I'm actually surprised it took 3 seasons, but he's finally here. Makarov will be available at launch. Then of course we have the return of Snoop Dogg. Yes, this is like the 3rd or 4th year in a row that Snoop Dogg has made his way as an operator in Call of Duty, and this year will be no different. He returns again, available at launch. For our 3rd operator in season 3 will be Banshee, and she will be available at launch as well. And finally for our 4th operator in season 3 will be Hush, and he will be available at launch. And for everybody who will purchase the Black Cell Battle Pass offering, they will also receive a new operator by the name of Stasis. Next up we have the game modes that will be available in season 3. First of all, we have the return fan favorite Capture the Flag. It will be available at launch. Our second game mode is another fan favorite, this time a party mode, and there is none other than One in the Chamber. It will be available during the launch window, so about a week or 2 after launch. Very excited for One in the Chamber. Very awesome game mode, to be honest with you guys. For our third game mode is called Minefield. Now this is very interesting because you guys remember how we had Hardpoint, which was Hardpoint but with zombies. They say Minefield is gonna be multiplayer but with mines. So basically Minefield will be available on all your normal 6v6 game modes. However, the difference in this game mode is every time you get a kill, that enemy will drop a mine. However, that mine will not be lethal to you and your teammates. No, that mine that the enemy dropped will only be lethal to the enemy team. Otherwise everything is the same. To be honest with you guys, this sounds very interesting. And for our fourth and final game mode, it will be called Escort and will be available during the mid-season. Now this game mode is identical to Payload from the original Warzone. This is gonna be the same thing, it's the same game mode, but instead of being Payload in Warzone, this one is gonna be Escort in multiplayer, and that's it. Continuing with multiplayer, season 3 will see the addition of new perks and equipment. First of all, we have the Gunslinger vest. It will be available at launch. This vest will give you 2 secondary weapon slots. It will give you 4 equipment slots, 2 tactical, a lethal and a field upgrade, and for the gear slots you will have 4 gloves, boots and 2 gears. Our second new vest will be the Modular Assault Rig. It will be available at launch. It will give you 5 equipment slots, 2 tactical, 2 lethal and a field upgrade, 3 gear slots, gloves, boots, gear, and finally you will start with the maximum reserve ammo. For our third vest is the Compression Carrier. It will be available at launch. You will have only 1 equipment slot, which is the lethal. You'll have 3 gear slots, gloves, boots and gears, and you will immediately regenerate health after a kill or objective capture. Then we have new boots, which is the Reinforced Boots. It will also be available at launch, and simply it will make you immune to movement reduction effects. Alongside all of that, you will begin a new gear, the High Grain Antenna. It will be available at launch. The minimap is zoomed out for you and nearby allies. Enemies remain on radar longer for you and nearby allies if a nearby ally has the CCT Comms Vest perk. And finally, see nearby ally radar pings from Intel Jacket and compass indicator from nearby ally signal jammers. And next up we have a new tactical, the EMD mine. It will be available mid-season. Proximity triggered mine that sticks to surfaces. Once triggered, the mine shoots out tracker device that reveal the enemy location and direction until removed. And finally, to finish off, we'll begin a new field upgrade called the Enhanced Vision Goggles. It will be available mid-season. When it comes to the multiplayer side of things, that would do it. Now let's move on to the connected content, and what this simply means is everything I talk about here will be available on all game modes in Call of Duty. Let's start off with the new events. Season 3 will see 4 new events. First of all, we have the Godzilla and King Kong Battle for Hollow Earth event. It will be available from April 3rd all the way until April 10th. Then we have the Blaze Up event. It will be available at the launch window. Following that, we have the High Trip event. It will be available at the launch window. And finally, in season, we have the new Vortex VI Rust mainframe event. And alongside all of that, expect additional events for the season 3 reloaded update. Moving on, as always, with new season means new prestige levels to rank up. This season will be no different. Season 3 will start off with, of course, prestige 10 at level 500. Then we move on to prestige 11 at level 550. Then prestige 12 at level 600. And finally prestige master prestige 13 at level 650. With all that being said, that will do it for the connected content. Now let's move on and talk about zombies. And to be honest with you guys, zombies is once again disappointing, because just like the previous season, season 2, everything for zombies will only be available during the season 3 reloaded update. Unfortunately, no new zombie content will be available at the launch of season 3. First of all, the Dark Ether story will continue with saving Dr. Jansen. Following that, a third rift will also open. We have new challenges and schematics. We have the dead wire detonators, the golden mask filter, and finally the surgeon's beret. And to finish off with zombies, we'll begin a new warlord called the Rainmaker. Unfortunately, this is everything that zombies will be receiving in season 3 of Modern Warfare 3. Regarding zombies, that would do it. Now let's move on to Warzone, and of course the main focus of this season, and that is none other than the return of Rebirth Island. Moving on from that, we'll begin new Warzone mods and public event. The very first game mode is going to be called the Warzone Bootcamp. It will be available at launch, and just as the name suggests, this is going to be a training match for new players to try out Warzone, learn the ropes in Warzone before actually deploying into a real Warzone match. It will include 44 players in total, 20 of them real players and 24 will be bots. Our second game mode is of course going to be none other than the return of Rebirth Resurgence. It will be available at launch and the maximum player count will be 44. Next up we have the Rebirth Resurgence loaded game mode. It will be available in the mid-season, and this is going to be your normal Rebirth Resurgence. However, you can start using your custom loadouts from the start of the match, okay? Otherwise everything is the same as your normal Rebirth Resurgence. Our next Warzone game mode is going to be Rebirth Lockdown. It will be available in the mid-season. And basically what this game mode is, it's gonna be your normal hardpoint, but instead of being multiplayer 6v6, it's gonna take place in Warzone, and that's it. Alongside all of that, will begin a new public event called the Rebirth Infill Strikes. It will be available in season. And basically what this new public event is, at the start of every match, now it won't happen at the start of every match, it happens very rarely, but there is a chance that at the start of every match, one of the 3 points of interest in Rebirth Island, which are Lighthouse, Prison, and finally the Water Tower, will be absolutely destroyed before the start of the match. Now you'll have to change the way you play, because one of these 3 points of interest will get destroyed. Again, this does not happen every match, it is very rare that it happens, but every so often this public event will happen. Following that, we have a second public event, this time called the Gulag Climb and Punishment. It will be available at launch. If you guys remember in Warzone 2 Gulag, there was a Juggernaut that would spawn, and if you and the enemy in the Gulag kill the Juggernaut, then both of you will actually redeploy into the game. Well, this public event is the same. 2 ladders will drop. If you work together and climb those ladders, both of you will redeploy. Or of course, if you want to double cross your enemy, you can do so. Or of course, if you want to completely ignore the ladder and kill the enemy and only you redeploy into the match. Next up, we have the Heavy Armor public event. It will be available mid-season, and basically all this public event is, at the start of a match that this public event becomes activated, every player will have an extra armor slot. So instead of having 3, you will now have 4, and that 4th armor plate will be visible above every player's head. Next up, we have new mission contract called the Spy Drones, and will be available at launch. And just as the name suggests, once you start this mission contract, you have to destroy some spy drones. Once you destroy them, you will get rewarded, and it is as simple as that. We move on to our second new mission contract. This one is actually a returning contract, this time in Resurgence Rebirth Island, and it is none other than the Champion's Quest. It will be available at launch. Alongside all of that, there will be some new and returning features in Warzone Season 3. First of all, we have a new field upgrade called the Squad Rage. It will be available at launch, and basically this will be a stronger version of the Battle Rage field upgrade, where once you activate it, your squad mates will also get the effects of the Battle Rage as long as they are within the radius of that Battle Rage field upgrade. Then we have the second new field upgrade called the Utility Box. It will be available mid-season, and basically the Utility Box field upgrade mixes both the ammunition and the armor plates all into one box. Instead of using 2 different ones, one for armor plates and one for ammunition, this one combines them both together. Alongside all of that, there'll be a new kill streak in Warzone called the Foresight, and will be available in season. Basically what this kill streak does, once you use it, it will show you all the future circles from that point until the end of the match. So this will definitely come in handy to plan your way through the rest of the match. This kill streak will be very vital in winning you the Warzone match. And finally, to finish off with the new and return features, we have the return of the perk packages, the Specialist. It will be available in season. Alongside all of that, there'll be some new updated movement for Rebirth Island. As you guys know, Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone has the new water mechanics that will be added in Rebirth. There'll be certain areas that will have water that you can swim through, and that's gonna be awesome. Moving on, there's gonna be a new feature called the biometric scan. It will be available at launch. Basically throughout the match, you can use one of these biometric scanners to check your stats throughout the match. Next up, we move on to what is probably the biggest feature that is being added in Rebirth Island, and that is the variable time of day. It will be available in season. Now in the description they say mainly the weather is always gonna be sunny with clear skies. However, there is a chance that sometimes fog might rolling, or even the sun is setting. So not only there's a chance for the weather to be different in each match of Rebirth Island, but sometimes even throughout the match the weather will change. That is absolutely awesome, to be honest with you guys. We've been asking for something like this for the longest time, and it's finally here. Variable time of day will be available in Rebirth Island. Next up we have a return feature, which is the weapon trade system. It will be available in season. Next up we also begin with the new unsubstantiated intel, which will be available at launch. Now unfortunately they don't tell us a lot about it, most of it is redacted. Now what could this exactly be? We're not sure, but we'll find out once the season 3 launches. Alongside all of that, there's going to be another new feature, and that is the bunker entrances. They'll be available in season. Yes, you heard that right, the bunkers will be finally opened up on Rebirth Island, and man oh man, I cannot wait to see what is hidden in these bunkers. Could these new bunker entrances be somehow related to maybe, just maybe, the reveal of Black Ops Gold 4 or Call of Duty 2024? I guess we'll have to wait and see. And to finish off with the season 3 update for Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone ranked play will be making its way to Rebirth Island at the launch window. To be honest with you guys, like I said earlier in the video, season 3 is shaping up to be the best season yet. It has so many content, 6 new maps, new weapons, new operators, new events. So far season 3 is looking really awesome. But with all that being said, make sure to click the video on the screen right now if you guys want to know how to use a controller to play Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. Thank you guys for watching this video.